hey, it's 7:41 in the morning. That means another election is around the corner in Louisiana.
Of course, that's right.
You never know. There could always be one.
Yeah.
Secretary of State Tom Schedler joins us on the phone as we look ahead to the March 25th election and then again later on in April. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. How y'all doing today in Lafayette, Louisiana?
We're doing great, but I have to tell you, one of the big things that still continues to circulate around here, and I know, it's something the legislature has to actually do, but it's because people went out of this race and this one went here, and now we have to have a special election. Everybody wants to know, how expensive is it to have an election? So if we have this March 25th election and we have early voting going on right now, when it's all said and done, how much does it end up costing?
Well, the average that we use is $1,250 per precinct.
Cool.
But Bernie, what I want to point out though, the definition of that special election, this is actually a regular called election that this is being jumped on, even though it's to fill a vacancy. So we're not really adding an election day on this one. Matter of fact, just real quick, I mean, when I took over back in 10. We did a study on that with the legislative auditor, and Louisiana was the highest in the country. We had 70 over a 60-month period, but that next 60 months, we did an apple for apple, and we dropped it over half. So we're making some very good headway with that, but this is a regular scheduled election. But to be quite honest, what you say is it hurts my interest because we're still chipping away at what we call special, like tax renewals. A tax may be failed, and they try to come back inside of 6 months to get special permission on an emergency. Those are the ones that drive me crazy, and we're making headway with those too. And we had actually the bond commission for the first time that I ever remember actually turned down the three that came before us, which was I don't think has ever happened before. So I think we're getting them their attention. They became the poster boys for the issue.
I love that, the poster boys.
Yeah.
Well, I know. What do you make of people who say the folks that voted in these types of elections, they're the ones that are going to vote yes for something?
Yeah.
It's just kind of not your middle of the, especially like you mentioned, with tax renewals and stuff, and we have two of them at least here in our area that are going to come up on April 29th.
Right. Well, yeah, that's always been the convention of wisdom, although I've seen a shift in attitude. It's such an anti-tax sentiment that's out there that, and I'll use those three individuals as an example again. I mean, the voters have been, getting just a little bit tired of it and have tried to, and have really started to change that strategy. So, we'll see what happens, but, y'all have as you know, a very hotly contested third district court of appeals race over there. As a matter of fact, we're in court today.
That's what I was going to say. We still have a hearing today.
Yeah, we don't know which way the judge will go there. I don't want to be careful with my comments since we're in court today in front of the judge. But the issue there is we passed a law 2 years ago that said, look, if you don't get out of a race, you have 7 days after a race, after qualifying to contest a race. That has long since gone, January 20th. But there's a little quirky law that the state Supreme Court passed at some time regarding judicial races, and that's what it is play here with one of the candidates with the question of time of experience. I think she's shy about a month, at least alleged. So we have to see what the judge does here. But, the issue here is, it's one thing to remove someone from the race, but we've already had paper ballots, absentee ballots that have been recorded. We opened up early voting Saturday, so there's already votes recorded. And the question is what the court decides today, to throw out all those or what, or do the traditional issue of just the votes don't count. But for the remaining candidates, that doesn't do them any good because they still can be recorded for that candidate. There's nothing I can do about that. So it's going to be interesting to see where the judge goes. Voters were very frustrated when people would withdraw themselves at last minute. We had to post notices on precinct windows to advise them, and those votes were really just lost. You wasted your votes. So it depends on how the court decides today which way that will go, but certainly we're crossing our fingers that it's something that does not create a redo or those types of things. That would be unprecedented for the courts to do that. But, hey,
It's Louisiana.
That's why they wear those black robes. So
right.
I don't get into their lane.
All right, Secretary of State Tom Schedler, we work very closely with your office, obviously, once elections do come up. So thanks for all your work there. And like I said, I tell you this every time we talk to you, Tom, I've worked in other states, and it is not nearly as easy in other states to get returns as it is from your office. So you deserve a pat on the back, sir.
Well, thank you very much. We've worked long and hard and have a great staff that makes us look good each and every day that I have to give credit to.
All right, it is 7:46. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I mean, just imagine. That is the office. That's where it all comes from. It's where it all comes down to. Like, I love how he says, we're in court today. You know what I mean? Because this is very important how it's going to go either way.
It's going to be fascinating.
We'll see. Bernie will have more on that coming up in her news update.
Unprecedented?
I'm so tired of that word. Everything is not unprecedented.
What you want to use?
I want to be done with that. I want to be done with delegitimizing. I want to be done with...
Well, you just want everything, don't you?
But it is a marvelous Monday, as our friends from Autism Society of Acadiana reminded us this morning.
That's right.
Coming up, Jackie Russo, she's waiting in the wings. Get her tip